Hello, Zachary Nation. Welcome back to Zachary on the Dirt. My hit new show where I sit, probably on the dirt, and talk to the camera. I'm alone right now, solo camping for the first time. And it's pretty exciting. Here, let me give you a better view of the fire. There it is, in all its glory. I have literally flint and steel, like Minecraft. Ooh, I'm gonna move this log and you're gonna see the fire. Quite frankly, I'm a little scared to be out here alone. This is the most secluded I have personally been on my own. But maybe there's Bigfoots in the woods, big feet, or something like that. Or scary guys with weapons. And I don't want to face them. If they face me, they'll have to face my flint and steel. So I'll just do that and scare them off probably. Just about talking about the idea of being in the woods and being in nature and sort of what it does to you. You know, I've always loved nature, but I also love comforts of home. You know, I sometimes I'm a little high maintenance. I guess I'm sort of trying to fight that part of myself because sort of living with the simple things gives you more appreciation for luxury. That's kind of why when my friends wanted to call the trip early, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see it through. Not that they were quitting. Very reasonable to go home during finals week, literally. But part of that is me wanting to like, you know, despite it is finals week and there's so much going on, letting myself slow down is really what I need. I heard a creature. So here we are, trying to boil water. Put the camera over there so it's like we're sitting across from each other at a fire. Isn't that fun? Ramen time. Thumbnail opportunity. Started off a bit ago by saying I wanted to talk about what it's like to be out in nature. Obviously, who wants to listen to someone talk about that? We all know what it's like to be out in nature, Zachary. But I guess I just wanted to bring my experience to it, or sort of reflect. You know, I act all YouTuber-y because it's fun, and it's fun to be silly and go like, "What's up, Zachary Nation?" But deep down, I'm sort of using the YouTube channel as an opportunity to just keep a log of what I do and what I make. And I found it to be really rewarding, especially with the podcast. I know I've only posted 2 episodes, so I gotta edit those. With the podcast, I actually got to get like really personal and like meaningful with some friends. And you know, I was pretty close with everyone before, but just sitting and having an intentional conversation with the goal of expanding our understanding of each other is really exciting. And I enjoyed that process a lot, and I intend to keep doing it. My knee is getting a little hot. I took a little break from filming to sort of focus on my ramen. Also, got some canned chicken from Winco. Just like Mommy used to make. Just kidding, my mom has higher standards than that. Oh my gosh, the smoke. Ooh. There's something about letting your caveman instincts. You know, when I built this fire, when it first like, I felt a primal excitement in me. Oh, look at this stick. And like that, breaking a stick, nothing beats it. Breaking a stick between your hands. That's what it is to be a man. And I don't mean man as in what we consider a man today. I mean mankind. Whew. What I'm doing right now is for all of mankind. Kind of perfect. Okay, Mr. Chef. Okay, yes, Chef. Not to toot my own horn, but I kind of ate with that. And literally, I kind of ate with that. That's the stuff. That is the stuff. Hello. Can you even see me? The fire was getting a little big and it scared me. Hello. It's about 9 p.m. now. Fire is roaring. I'm bored. It's funny how little there is to do when you're not surrounded by overstimulation. But then if you think about it, humans are such an anomaly in that way. There's not that much to do when you are breaking life down to the bare bones of it all, other than survive. And obviously right now, I'm pretty safe and I'm pretty set. I'm at a designated campsite. I have all of my gear. But all I've been doing for the past 2 hours is just keeping this fire going. Just going and getting more wood. And it's hard to get wood because it's wet out here in the good old Pacific Northwest. More like good old Pacific Northwest. How about that? Found a big stick. I think this is half of it. And I couldn't break it, so I hacked at it with my tiny little hatchet. And when I say tiny hatchet, tiny enough to fit in my hoodie pocket. It's half hammer, half hatchet. The hammer's almost as big as the hatchet. So I hacked at it for a while and it just wouldn't break. So I went and I found a bigger piece of log. I leaned the hacked at stick on the picnic table over there, and I dropped the log on it to break it. That's not the kind of thing you think of doing when you're watching TikTok. Cavemen didn't get bored because they were always running from a saber-toothed tiger. The only saber-toothed tigers we see are AI-generated ones. And that fucking sucks. I'm gonna fix that by just being here and not worrying about AI-generated saber-toothed tigers. Oh, it was cold. Cold chicken water. Just like Mom used to make it. Whoa. Like I said a little bit ago, there's something about fire that just builds up a well of primal ferociousness inside of me. As I've tapped into my caveman instincts, I've gotten pretty comfortable with getting close to touching the fire. Like if I'm gonna put kindling in there, I'll like get in there real nice and drop it in and be brave. And see, now it caught and now there's fire and I feel like a caveman. The idea of cryptids is so interesting because there are so many animals. I've seen like 4 birds today that I've never seen in my life. I saw a woodpecker, which I've seen, but it was like a different kind of woodpecker. It was like little and didn't have a spiky head. And there's so much natural beauty in crazy animals, yet as humans we insist, because we're so freaking self-centered, we insist on inventing animals that don't exist. Maybe. You know, we don't know. You know what is really cool though? Giant squid. And the fact that like within my lifetime, it went from being like a myth. We were like, oh yeah, giant squids, like they don't really exist, maybe. And then it turned into, oh, they definitely do exist. We've just only found dead ones. And then it turned into, there are giant squid and we've gotten a few pictures of them. And within the last few weeks, they got a full close-up video of a giant squid. And it was giant. And it was squid. So, Krakens do exist. And I'm sorry I ever doubted you, Krakens out there. Whew. I get why people can die out here. Because this fire is the bane of my existence. This log is doing nothing. Oh, maybe it was doing something. Because now there's all the smoke. Coming for me. Hello. I'm gonna start every clip with hello because I'm gonna have to edit these clips together. It's about 10 p.m. finally actually dark out now. You know what that means? Yep, it's some more time for some s'mores. Beautiful tortilla bag that I'm using as my versatile food type bag. So, 4 marshmallows. We'll see if I eat all of them, but I'm a hungry little guy. Okay, I got my graham crackers, I got my s'mores, and I've got my pixie dust. Anyone ever watch Jake and the Neverland Pirates? You know ball. Let me find my chocolates. Whatever happened to, Willy Wonka? Stupid question. Fictional character. Timothy Chalamet happened to him. That's what happened. We've got chocolate and chocolate. So, next time they do a Wonka biopic, don't call Timmy. Call me. Forget zodiac signs. What kind of marshmallow roaster are you? Are you a golden, beautiful, slow roasted marshmallow person? Or are you a sort of like light it on fire in 3 seconds, blow it out and you're done type marshmallow person? Let me know in the comments down below. See, exactly. Case in point. I usually try to make a golden marshmallow, but instead I burn it. And that's okay. Sorta, maybe it's time to adopt that mentality in the rest of my life. You know, you want a golden marshmallow in life, but you might get burnt, and it's still gonna taste good, and it's still gonna be equally as not good for you. I don't think that burnt marshmallows give you cancer. I think if you're eating marshmallows that you roasted in a fire, cancer shouldn't be your worry. You're already there making a decision that's not healthy for your body. But out here in the woods, it doesn't really matter because we're working so hard to survive that having a s'more is nothing. Cheers. The graham crackers are soft. I think they were in the bag with other things for long enough that they got stale. Now that it's dark out, oh, my marshmallow stick is very much on fire. I am a little spooked. You know, I'm hoping there's no ghouls or goblins or specters about. But quite frankly, I'm gonna not bring it up. Because if I talk about it, I'll think about it. And instead, I'm gonna talk about beautiful animals because I love animals. And just yesterday, I was talking with Colin and Vivian and Maddie about our best animal encounters. And I had this like vivid memory come to mind that I haven't thought about in years. I was in the woods back home, Cougar Mountain, Washington. And I don't know why, but I was playing in the woods alone, and it was snowing. I can only describe it as I was walking through the woods, and I entered a glade. That's the only word for it. It was literally a forest glade. It was this beautiful opening in the woods, this circle of trees, and just this flat, beautiful, snowy ground in the middle. And I entered the glade, and right as I like rounded the corner of a tree, there was a deer. I was face to face with a deer. And deers get pretty close to people, especially around here. This was my first time seeing a deer like less than 10 feet away. And I was face to face with it. And we just sort of stopped and looked at each other. And there was this mutual respect. There was just this understanding of we are both in these woods. We are both stewards of this environment. And we must acknowledge that and move on. That's what the deer said to me. And I looked at her and she looked at me. And she gracefully turned around and just frolicked away. To this day, deers are one of my favorite animals. In Yellowstone, I cannot wait to go back to Yellowstone. I will certainly do that someday. But I was at Yellowstone National Park, and I think I was about 12 years old. The whole family was in the minivan, and the bison are so big. You don't think about how big bison are, but they're literally the size of cars, basically. You think lions are the king of the jungle? Bison are the king of the jungle. Don't even play with that. A bison would eat a lion for breakfast. Except I don't think they eat meat, but if they did, you know how that would go. So they're so big, and they just walk between the cars, and I remember there was a bison just walking right next to the car. It was so close that the whole window of the car was just brown bison fur. Have to finish my s'more. So we look out the window, and it's just bison fur. And it's so close to us that it bumps the car, and the car goes boom, boom, boom. And again, it was just that weird, like, understanding. And I know I was being a little facetious and silly about it a little bit ago, about, like, having this mutual understanding with an animal. I really feel that there are moments when you come across an animal and there's almost a spiritual connection. Like I've been mentioning a few times, that primal thing that's in us when we see fire, that primal thing in us has a mutual connection with the wildlife. And even as a kid in Yellowstone, in the car, in the minivan, there's just this awestruckness of seeing a bison that close. And it's quite fantastic. Protect the national parks. I wouldn't be where I am right now. This is protected land if we didn't have, like, the national park services. So volunteer or donate or whatever, or just go to national parks, get a discovery pass. It's so worth it. I think I'm gonna have one more s'more. I have 3 marshmallows left. I don't know if I have it in me to eat 3 more marshmallows. Fuck it. Triple decker s'more. Never been done. New invention. For Zachary Nation eyes only. Triple decker s'more. I don't see this going very well. I think it's all just gonna burn and fall off. But damn it if I don't try. Really is... Oh. It really is on fire. Is what I should have said. It really is crucial to stay out here in nature. I think about Frog and Toad and how the entire idea of Frog and Toad is that they're just like an old gay frog couple who like live in the woods and bike to each other's houses and like go swim in the lake and have a garden. And we need more people in the world who want to live like Frog and Toad. Speaking of Frog and Toad, I saw a bunch of salamanders in the lake, like literally right in front of me. I was with Maddie at first, and we were just there at the edge of the lake. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's a tadpole. I don't know why, I thought it was a tadpole, like in between frog and tadpole vibes, because it had legs and a tail. Obviously, salamander was a better description, and that's what it was, I'm pretty sure. And we saw the salamander, we were like, oh my gosh, so exciting. And then we saw like 9 more. And they were just like little slimy guys crawling around. So, in life, we should all be more like Frog and Toad, and we should all be more like salamanders swimming in Cedar Lake. The triple decker s'more. Going to eat it now. Tastes like a s'more. Triple decker style. I'm actually kind of glad the graham crackers are a little stale. This is holding together well. Like if I shake it, that's not going anywhere. That's secure. That is a s'more that is secure in its s'moreness. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm gonna have to cut out me eating this s'more because it's a very humbling experience. And I said a second ago I didn't have it in me to eat 3 marshmallows. I don't think I do, / did. Because I'm very full, and I feel like my tummy's going to be upset. But, alas, here we are. Fabulous. We should invent a s'more that hydrates you. Because I think s'mores are probably top 7 foods that make you so parched. I just chugged so much water and I'm still thirsty. So, triple decker stale s'mores, number 1. Number 2, wet s'mores that hydrate you. Engineers in the comments, I need you to work on that and invent that. As the evening comes to an end, I wanted to reflect on how I have felt out here. I've sort of been narrating the whole experience, but generally, I'm very glad I did this. Yeah, I'm terrified. There could be ghouls and goblins, but of course we're not going to think about that. We're going to think about cute little salamanders. I'm scared, I'm cold. This fire was really hard to make, but I did it. I just did it with my hands and wood and flint and steel and whatnot. But I did it. I'm learning things about myself. I'm learning things about what it's like to strip down life to bare necessities. And it's truly incredible. And I'm going to be doing it more. I'm going to be asking everyone I know to do it with me. And I'm going to love it. That's where that sentence was going. What did I call this show? Thank you for watching the first episode of Zach on the Dirt. Yeah, I hope to do this more, camping or otherwise. It's nice to just have a stream of consciousness to the camera. Appreciate you watching, if you did, if anyone watched, or if I myself am watching. Hey, Zachary, thanks for watching your own recording of yourself, you narcissistic freak. Just kidding. But Zachary Nation, I love ya. Signing off.